Like my dad always said, boy, I hate repeating myself. And I'm not doing this video because I am going to bring out the bad. No, sir. I know in the past we have brought to light more of the facts of how the Raiders defense has let the team down in the past. And we've said it in the past. If Derek Carr has a top 15 defense, the Raiders are a tough team to beat. They are possibly winning the AFC. But historically, their defense has been a little lackluster and definitely not been the answer for the Raiders moving forward. But you know what? Things change, and most evident by how well the Raiders defense has been balling as of late over the last 3 games. Now I know what some of the haters are going to say. Oh, it's small sample size. It's over only the last 3 games. Who did they play? Well, I'm here to answer all 3 of those questions. So first of all, before we get into this, yes, I know that it is a small sample size. I'm well aware of it, but how can we in life, obviously we need to look at the full picture. That's very true. However, if we want to look at being positive, if we want to look at also telling the truth on both ends, we need to be able to look at, there's 2 cases to every story-ish, something like that. You can have a bad start and then finish strong, which is evident by the Raiders who were down below, like they were in the lower, lower half of the league in total defense, and now they're up more towards the higher 20s, the lower 20s now. So they are, that is evident by itself, like the fact that their most defensive statistics 3 weeks ago, they were way down, like 27, 20, 29, 30, all the way down there. And now they're all the way up to what, 22, 23, 24 the last time I checked, because this defense has shown the ability to improve on the fly and be able to make plays and really honestly take over games in order to help the offense and really, frankly, the rest of the team out. And here we go. We'll just show you guys. Over the last 3 weeks, and how this Raiders defense compares over the best team, defensive team in the NFL, whether it's whoever it is at this point, how it all matches up right now. You got them leading the league in points and least points allowed. They're first and allowing only 15.6 points per game over the last 3 games. Passing yards, 170. Rushing yards, which is the most impressive, because I think a lot of people don't take into consideration and don't know the game. Like, they don't know if you can stop teams, if you can stop them from running the football, you are going to stop their offense. And that is really true of how, especially when the Raiders took on the Browns just a couple of weeks ago. That was really where this whole run started. They beat them 16-14, and it's not like they held, the Chiefs to under 100 yards rushing. They held the Browns. They made Nick Mullins have to beat them, and that's how you win football games, is when you don't have a star quarterback, but the other opposing team can run the football, you shut them down. And that is exactly what the Raiders did in that game. They held Nick Chubb to 23 carries for 91 yards. Now, you look at that, that's not great, but it got the job done, and it kept them from being able to run the ball and sustain drives effectively throughout the entire times of the game. And then you go to the next week when they played the Broncos. Now, this game, actually, let me back up just a second here. The Browns are clearly a more of a playoff team than the Broncos at this point. But I will say, even though they're probably eliminated, both teams are probably eliminated by now. I don't know. Point is this: the Browns are a better football team than the Broncos. Let's just be real about that right now. Like, that's just the harsh reality of the situation. But I think when you look at this in the totality of things, when the Raiders went down to the Broncos, I don't know if it was an away game, they beat them 17-13. They held Drew Lock 15-22, 153 yards. Okay, that's fine. But you held Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Those two combined, 14 carries, 8 yards and a touchdown. Like, you want to talk about a defense that's taken over. We just covered it. If you can stop teams from running the football like the Raiders did, you stop them. And especially when other teams don't have good quarterbacks, or at least middle of the pack, it's tough to be able to come back from it. Look at the Vikings. Yes, Kirk Cousins has his moments, but when his running game is not working at 100%, it's tough for him to get things going, because teams are stacking the box, they're just playing tough defense. It's just hard to stop, and it's hard to get things going when you got a really good defense coming at you. But now, with the latest game that the Raiders played against the Colts, this was what was really impressive to me, because yes, okay, the Raiders going against the Browns, we know they can run the football. We know they're a playoff team. That's impressive. Yes, they went against the Broncos, who are Probably the weakest team in the AFC West right now, even though they honestly are just a quarterback away, so it's really not even that far-fetched. But then you've also got the Raiders who come out against the Colts, and I mean, Jonathan Taylor was on a tear. We need to establish that right now. But you hold Jonathan Taylor and the Colts to 122 total yards rushing. I understand that, but Jonathan Taylor, who had been going off on a tear. I mean, this guy was at over 1,600 yards through the first couple through most of the season now, and you hold him to 108. That's not great, but it got the job done. It's not about winning pretty. It's about a win. It's a win it's a W in the right column. Jonathan Taylor was having 170 yards against the Patriots. I believe they're one of the top rated defenses in the entire NFL. Had a $185 against the Bills, also a good defense. $116 against the Jaguars. Okay, yeah. $172 against the Jets. Like, even $145 against the Texans. $107 against the 49ers, I'm sorry. 103 against the Dolphins. Like, he was going on a tear. And to hold that man to 108 yards, yes, he got over 100 yards, but they made him earn every single yard. This Las Vegas Raiders defense is balling right now, and it's a major reason as to why this team is on a 3-game tear. Their offense is, I mean, let's be real. It is stagnant. It is not doing what we expected, but there's a couple different reasons for that. You look at Darren Waller, who's been out the last couple of games. You look at, I mean, obviously the loss of Henry Ruggs and that whole situation was awful. And whether we like to admit it or not, John Gruden was a great coach, offensive coach, and he got the most out of his players. He really did. And right now, it's been, like we've said, the Raiders have suffered a lot of adversity, and it's been really tough for their offense at times, but we said it like we said at the beginning of the video. We hate repeating ourselves, but it's the fact of the matter. If the Raiders have a top 15 defense, they're a tough team to stop. They are a tough team to play with, and it comes down to what the Raiders need to do to win. Obviously, they need to score points. But if the Raiders can continue to hold, here, let's show you the statistics again. If they can continue to hold teams to 15.6 points per game, allow 170 pass yards and 76 rushing yards a game, it's simple. They can win with that. They can win with Derek Carr in that offense that's only putting up, 17, 20 over these last couple of games. They can win. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But they can win. That's a recipe for winning in the NFL. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Down there as well, where you can give us a like and a follow there. Give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com of what that is, or put in the comment section down below, and we would be glad to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders defense. Ballin' right now.